Hello everyone, I'm Baltmatrix, and today we're taking a look at Transformers Kingdom Deluxe Class WINGFINGER. This is the pterodactyl fossilizer. Yep. I will freely admit, I think in terms of alt mode, this is the weakest of the fossilizers. It's not my favorite. Now that being said, I do love the original G1 reference they have going here. Grimlock, Slag, and Sludge. Wait. No. Grimlock, Slag, and Swoop. So you do have 3 Dinobots. Okay, 3 out of 5 ain't bad. Seriously though, I would love if they would just make a Brontosaurus, or an Apatosaurus, and a Stegosaurus fossilizers. That would be perfect. Then we would have the original Dinobots in bone mode. So this is the way that the figure can stand in bone mode, or I should stop saying bone mode, in beast mode. You can flip the arms out, flip the arms around, like this, and then he's got, or it's got a flight mode that he could fly through the air with the greatest of ease. Actually, no. He would need some kind of thrusters or something to give him lift. Weird. Well, aerodynamics has never been the Transformers' strongest suit, let's face it. The figure disassembles into these 11 components, and then they all recombine into a robot mode. To start with, come to what were the actual hands, or the front claws in the dino mode, bird mode, whatever, and straighten them out and stand them up. The front claws or talons become heels, and the bits that were attached to the wings become toes. Then grab the actual upper sections, peg them in, and fold them so that the actual combiner section, or I should say the screw sections, are pointing forward. Yes, that is intentional. Then we can take this section, and this will become the hips. And those peg in and point forward like that. Yeah, screw holes are ugly, but what are you going to do? Next, take the rear bone section, unfold them, and then these will become the upper shoulders, torso, and head. Peg that in, and then obviously these are going to form the arms. And you have the pegs pointing in so that you have the wrists. Like so. And we're just about done. The only other thing left is to add a backpack. And that's done by taking the skull, folding this peg down, pegging it into the back. And then once you do that, you can peg these extra bits into the rear of the arms. Like that, for storage. Convenient storage. They do get in the way a little bit for posability, but that's still works pretty well. And here we have the robot mode. In terms of the robot mode, I think the coloring on this is pretty good. It's literally bone white, but the overall aesthetic is just too thin for my taste. It's almost like they ran out of ideas, or they picked a dinosaur that really doesn't have much mass. And I want to love this head sculpt, but there's not much to love. It's literally just this blue visor, and is that a mouth? Is that a bunch of crumpled tin cans? I can't tell. And even looking at it from straight on, you can barely see the visor in there. Barely. And this doesn't go back any farther, because if I push it back any farther, it's going to snap off, and I don't want that to happen. Even though WINGFINGER feels really tiny, it scales perfectly with the other two, with Ractonite being the much thicker boy, and then Paleo T-Rex being a little bit wider, but just as thin when you look at it at profile. In robot mode, WINGFINGER can wield his own wing fingers as little swords, or katana, or maybe wakasashis. And then you can also plug them into the front of his hips, so he can give Decepticons really nasty hugs. And then the giant dino skull can be wielded on the forearms as, I don't know, some kind of wrist-mounted, forearm-mounted biting blade. I mean, you can't even open up the mouth in this mode. Oh, the mouth does open. Oh, maybe if you open it up and flip it around. Actually, that works a hell of a lot better. Oh, wow. I didn't even think of that before. Yeah, that works. That is legitimately cool. And then you could give him a bow and arrow in his own robot mode because, well, quite frankly, his first weapon mode is a kind of bow and arrow-esque thing. The first weapon mode is pretty much just disassemble the figure into, well, his bottom half. And then, yeah, just pull these bits off, pull the lower legs off, attach the wings, or the tips, like that. Actually, turn those around. And plug this sucker into a robot. And here we're actually going to use Huffer instead of with Ractonite. Yeah, it's supposed to be like a bow and arrow. Doesn't really work, but then you can add the head in like this. And from the side that kind of works. Kinda. Turning the arm and putting it underneath the hand, that works a lot better. The other mode is taking what we've already done here and pretty much partially turning it back into its alt mode. And just put the... come on, get in there. There we go. Whoop. There we go. Yep. And once we create new wings, all we're going to do is pretty much just slap this on the back of a robot. And give him wings! Then take the skull and the, well, this whole section, plug that in, and you've got a bird hammer. Okay, even I have to admit this is a bit of a stretch. The peg on the inside there is just too dang loose. I've tried this with a couple of figures, and this peg is just a little bit too small for everybody's hands. The wings are fine. Bird hammer? Nah, not feeling it. I definitely like WINGFINGER. I think it is an interesting figure. I would have preferred if we got an Apatosaurus, though, just to, you know, keep the whole original G1 dino line going. But what we have here is the animated dinos. Tyrannosaurus, Triceratops, or in this case a Styracosaurus, and a Pterodon. So overall, should you buy the figure? Well, if you bought one, you might as well buy the other two, because having dinos that are made of bones and Transformers is cool. I don't care what anybody says. These are cool. Are they perfect? Not really. There are some tolerance issues, and some of the joints really need to be stiffer. But I still like them. I still think they're fun, and I hope we get more. I hope we get a Brontosaurus, an Apatosaurus, a Stegosaurus, and heck, let's add in an Ankylosaurus just for funsies. No, you know what? Let's get a Paddles. Let's go all out and get ourselves a Paddles. I would like to see that. Alright folks, let me know what you think of WINGFINGER down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. I have been Baltmatrix, and I'll catch you all next time. And as a preview, yes, these three do combine. That will be its own video. Bye now.